Welcome back to the channel, everybody. You join me again on another Milligan Auto Diagnostics video. Now, it might look as if it's roasting, but it's actually quite cold this morning. So we're in Lanark. We were actually round at a new trade customer this morning. So he's got a customer right behind me here on this Mercedes, which I'll give you a little rundown what's been done or what the customer has done. So I'll just block out the actual bit of paper here. So work carried out, new auxiliary battery fitted in the passenger footwell, pollen filter fitted as well. Below the carpet dried out because apparently it was wet in there. That's ideal. Somebody's got a pressure washer out there, probably washing their drive. Below carpet and carpet dried out because basically it was damp. Removed a 10 amp fuse in the boot to test was okay. I originally put it back in the wrong slot, but then fitted back in to the original slot, so that's a big okay, not too sure there. So nothing really, seems like the customer's done the majority here. What I'm going to do is get the scan tool plugged into it. In fact, what we'll do is I'll show you what's actually happening with the vehicle. So let me turn face track off. You can see it's a bit of a tight spot. So what we do, so I'm a bin man for the day as well. Well, I don't like the look of that for a start. That is he did say he dried it out, so you can see there's quite a lot of panels, so forth. But it's a keyless, so if we put the key there, so it does start. Now I didn't know if it was going to start or not, it wasn't on the job description. Traffic sign assist, engine management light on, ESP, so we've got quite a lot going on here. He did say there was something with the steering column. So that was the story. So it does start, but it won't drive. Apparently, there was an issue with the communication with the steering column module. So that's what, that's the story that I was getting. So you can see there was quite a few warning lights coming up in the dash there. So the only thing left to do is get the scan tool connected up to it. Now, because this is a very tight road, and I'll show you that in a minute, I'm going to stick the Bluetooth Hella tool on it, just so I can go into the van rather than sit here, because there's not a lot of cars, but there's a few cars and vans that I've seen go by, but there's literally nowhere else to park here, so I'm just going to do what I can while I'm here and at least try and get it to run. But that's a major red flag there, is we haven't got any communication. Well, I've jumped ahead here, I'm taking other people's word for it. We possibly haven't got any communication with the steering column module because we can't select drive, wipers don't work, horn doesn't work. So I'm going to stick the scan tool in here somewhere. Oh, it's a bit tight under there. Where's the LBD socket? I think I might need a torch. I can't see a thing. I've got it, I think. There we go. So we are green, and the other side should be blue, but we'll just leave the ignition on. Put a window down as well. Then we'll go in the van. You can see how tight, might not look tight on camera right enough, but this wee road is pretty snug. So let's get the scan tool plugged in, do a health scan, then we'll see where we need to go from there. So you can see there, we've just come into Hella and we're going to click on the vehicle year. So it is 15. Just leave the identification. Going to go into trouble codes, and we're going to do a start request now. The amount of modules that are going to be in this are going to be immense, so we might need to pause this and come back once it's done. Let's just see how quick it can do it. Battery voltage is a little bit low, you can see 8.86, 11.86, sorry. I was also on a wee Peugeot partner this morning as well. Just checking out a turbo fault. Turned out to be a ECU plug issue, so that was that. Apart from that, guys, for a Monday morning, it's actually been a nice, slow start to the week. I know a lot of people would probably say that's not really good, but it is good when you're constantly working overtime, so it's nice to have a wee day where you can sit back and just crack on with the jobs and not have to rush through them. So if anybody in the comments can give me any pointers, try to maybe sell some sort of merchandise, but I don't just want to sell the usual kind of cheap tacky hats that you can get made with a logo. I'm just trying to think outside the box a wee bit, but I'm struggling with it. So if anybody's got any ideas in the comments, drop them below, and we'll see if we can get some merchandise made up. I'm just not really sure what to actually sell. A lot of people just go ahead with beanies and stuff like that. Don't really want to do that. But yeah, let me know in the comments if any of you have got any ideas, because I certainly haven't. So our health scan is done. You can see we've got 2 faults in powertrain, 7 faults in brake system, thermal management, comfort, transmission, anti-theft, suspension. So we're going to try comfort first to see if we have got missing communication with the steering column module. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just go into instrument cluster, see if that's reporting any missing communications. So let me see, CAN bus communication or CAN bus connection to steering column module. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that a little bit better. System recognition, instrument cluster, additional information, fault present and saved. The steering column module manages the function of steering column switches. The module is located behind the switches, of course. Data transferred via CAN bus. We know that already. Possible effects, data exchange disturbed, incorrect function of various systems, and there's the list of the list of various possibilities or causes that it could be. Now, if I go back into there, where is the steering column module? It's going to be in comfort, so controls of multifunction steering wheel. So we'll just try, even though we haven't got any communication with it, we'll just try and communicate for the sake of the video. So you can see the timeout fault, it's not happy, we have not got communication with that. So I'm going to see if we can, oh, I've just clicked on the wrong button there. I'm going to see if we can get some information on the CAN bus for this car. So I managed to find a diagram for the steering column module. So this is a steering column module here. You can see it's actually got flexray. You've got your 2 fuses here. Now keep in mind what the customer said about fuses, because that's a possibility, but we're not going to jump ahead and check fuses just yet. What we're going to do is check that we've got everything going into the steering column module, because it's easy just to strip apart and do the tests. Once we've done that, we can then confirm, if we've got everything there, including the flexray, then maybe it's the steering column module that's at fault. But the fact that the customer's been mucking about with this one a wee bit, I think, there's going to be something that's been done by the customer by mistake. So a little bit of time has went by, and I can confirm that we haven't got any power going into this steering column module. Now I'm just checking it with my little OTC test lamp, and it's not lighting up at all. It's very difficult to actually show that on camera because the plug connector is all the way up there. So you can see that red wire going into that plug connector there. Now that has got zero power going to it. So I'm a bit confused with the diagrams. You can hear, I mean, that the car's running at the moment. I was going to connect up the picoscope to it, I was halfway doing that. But I'm going to focus on this power issue first because we haven't got any power going into the steering column module. Now if I take these across to the van, on HGS, I'll just spin these around. You can see we've got F210, 5 and a 10 amp, so there's two options here. The one that we're interested in is pin 4, so it says it goes from the passenger side fuse box MF1 down to a, is that a 1 pin connect? C281, a 20 pin connector on pin 1, and then it runs down to pin 4. So somewhere along the lines here we have got, I suspect, an open circuit. It's just a bit of a strange one because all the customer's done to this is attempt to replace an auxiliary battery, and all these problems have kind of came around after that. So I'm a bit confused just now. I think I'm going to just go across, test the fuse. Like he says he's put all the fuses back in, and by the fuse diagram it's one of these fuses that have, it's like kind of a long one, and it's got each individual fuse link included in the one fuse, so you can't really go wrong with that. So I'll go and show you the fuses, we'll test the fuse, make sure it's alright, and then we'll have a wee look, see where we need to be after that. A bit confused now, to be honest. So the actual fuses are in here. You can see the second one down on this row here. I'll just try and put my press lamp across it. So this one here is the one that we're talking about. Now I've taken that out and all is okay. So the fuse isn't the issue. Now, of course, they did say that they had water ingress going in to the floor pan, so you can see it's kind of sat there as well. Now, on first visual, I can't see awfully much wrong with this. Oh, is that corrosion? I think, try and focus the camera. Can you guys see that? That looks like corrosion on that plug. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll get this connector out. Oh, look at that. So that is corroded right there. That is on that white connector, but that is a blue, a red and a blue tracer. So unless it changes colours somewhere, and it just doesn't show that on the diagram, but there is corrosion definitely in this blue connector here. So we're going to focus our attention on these two connectors now. And yeah, well, that's a bit of a nightmare. Should have really went there first, but you still need to kind of follow a test procedure, I suppose. So let me disconnect this connector, make sure it's not too far gone, and then we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, that's where we're going to focus our main attention on. So what I'm going to do is create some space, open up those blue connectors and the white connector, repair the white one because we know it's got one single wire going into it, and it's knackered anyway. So we're going to repair the white one and then see what we can do with the blue one as well. But yeah, it's looking more like open circuit or resistance somewhere inside that connector that's just causing no power going to the steering column module. So there's a money shot, people. You can see the corrosion in there, and I've also took the cover off of it. You can see it's all corroded quite badly in there as well. So not the best. On this occasion, I don't think I'm going to clean this up and try and plug it back in because it seems too far gone to me. I I think what I'm going to do is just bypass the plug on the worst of the kind of wires that are there, and that'll mean that there's at least a fighting chance instead of cleaning it and then it's got intermittent issues afterwards possibly. So I think I'm just going to bypass the plug on this one, clean it up. The customer can deal with the water ingress issue. I think it's probably going to be the sunroof drains. So he can get these local garage to do that. We've just been phoned in to try and get the vehicle moving so they can get it there. So that's the plan. I'm going to bypass it. Let me know what you would do in the comments as well. But for me, it's just easier to bypass it. I'm probably about 45 minutes to an hour away for where I live, so I'm not taking the chance on cleaning it up and home for the best. So let me get that sorted and I'll come back to you. So I've just repaired those wires and we're just going to test for power now. Look at that, lovely. So our little OTC test lamp is now lighting up. So we can plug that connector back in, make sure we've got full functionality, and most important part is making sure the actual car drives, so we can get it to a workshop and get the sunroof drains sorted out or whatever's causing the water intrusion. So we've obviously got it running. I was just going to do a rescan using the Megamax quickly. I was actually checking out the flex ray. Why is there only one? Because one of my leads fell out. Aye, so one of my leads fell out. That doesn't matter anyway. The main thing is the vehicle. I'm just going to get my lead out of there. The main thing is my vehicle, or the vehicle, is going into park. You can see there. If we try and press the horn. I am not going to do the wipers because my picoscope is there. But yeah, that's basically all I done, was repair or remove the pins, and I did try cleaning them but it didn't work. So if I lift this back up, I basically just bypassed out of the multi-plug, which is not an issue. So what I'm going to do now is come over here. So it's still just going through. I might need to reconnect the VCI to this, but it's fixed so far. I just hope there isn't any other little gremlins that pop up. So it turns out nothing to do with the customer. The customer literally replaced the auxiliary battery. He's obviously disturbed something in there. It was corroded anyway, but he's maybe just disturbed it enough to lose the power going to the steering column module. Without the power going to the steering column module, obviously you're going to have all sorts of electrical faults pop up in the dash, and that's why he was kind of confused, because, well, technically he done nothing wrong. He managed to find something on his car that he didn't know about. So what I'm going to do a health scan, make sure everything's all up to scratch, and I'll show you the health scan afterwards, just to let you guys know that that's it, fault free. So there we have it. We've done a trouble code scan, and you can see we've got 0 fault codes in the system, apart from 2 in comfort that I didn't realise were there. It's coming up with 2 fault codes for the headlights. Now I don't think there's anything on the dash regarding this, so let's just start the thing up and we'll make sure we're good to go. I mean, the headlights are working, wipers are working, horn's working. I'm not going to press it. Goes into drive. I'll just make sure that the lights are going to work. What I'll do is I'll just turn on the hazards as well. So the lights are working, so I'm not too concerned about the fault codes in the headlights. I'm not going to focus any attention on them. But we're good to go, guys. That's the faults cleared. So all the faults were due to a power input issue going into the steering column module. So there we have it. It's been a long kind of day. So we've managed to get this one done for the customer. Next step is he's going to drive it over to the garage that it goes to, and they're going to hopefully unblock the sunroof drains to sort out the water issue that's getting into the carpet area. But it might not be the sunroof drains, it might be something else, but the likelihood of it being the sunroof is quite high. So that's that, guys. Thanks very much for watching. Remember, click that like, share and subscribe button below, and I'll see you on the next one.